What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and this is for my ladies. This is my podcast where amazing things happen and we get to talk, discuss, and celebrate real women of color. This is for my ladies is just for you. This podcast is a place where I get to highlight not only my life dreams and goals, but yours too. I believe I was called to create a platform for myself to express not only my thoughts, but those of other women that's unfiltered and untamed. I plan to talk and discuss topics that interest me and other women. I want my audience to be engaged and aware, so any topics, email them to me at tishadediva@gmail.com. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of This is for My Ladies. I am your host, Tisha the Diva, and you all, I just want to thank you for just constantly tuning in and listening to This is for My Ladies when a new episode is dropped. If you are a fan of This is for My Ladies, make sure you all subscribe so that you can receive weekly notifications for new episodes of This is for My Ladies podcast. And if you would like to support This is for My Ladies, you can become a supporter of this podcast, okay? So with that being said, last week, y'all already know we talked about how the dating pool has pee in it. Somebody even said that it got a whole Snicker bar floating somewhere around in it. And yes, you all, like, I can definitely say that dating has been pretty difficult for me within the past couple of years that I have been dating since I've been single. And I've been single since 2016. Like, that is a wow, y'all. And yes, I have dated. Um, in those times, I have not created, or I guess nothing was, I guess nothing was special enough to create any sort of longevity around it, or I guess to say air quote titles of boyfriend and girlfriend, or of a relationship, or of a person, except for that one time when I had just returned from California last year, and maybe about February, March, possibly April. I had went to Allure for the first time, and there was this guy in there. Y'all know when I go out anywhere, y'all know I'm dancing and emphasizing. Okay, um, and he had said like something about don't bump into him, because I'm gonna make him spill his drink. And I was like, you just make sure you don't bump into me so I don't spill my drink like you in my space. So, and then I just went on about my business and all of that stuff. And pardon me, you all, I just needed to clear my throat. It's no COVID or anything like that. But at any rate, yeah, so I was with one of my childhood best friends. I got to get her on a podcast too, my girl Quita. So I definitely have to get her on a podcast, y'all. So with that being said, but anyway, so we was leaving out of the club, and he was coming back in, I guess, and he was just like, you leaving already? And I was like, no, I'm just about to run to the car. And he was just like, well, can I have your number so I can call you? No, well, he was like, well, can I call you? And I was like, you ain't gonna call. And he was just like, yes, I am. I was like, because people don't like talking on the phone, y'all. Like, people just really want to text you to death. And no, let's talk on the phone. Let's have a conversation. Let's just, So anyway, he was like, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I need some water. Hold on. But anyway, he was like, I'm going to call you tomorrow. So when he had texted me the next day, I was like, see, I told you you weren't going to call. He was like, the only reason why I called, because I just want to see how your day was going. I mean, and it was great. And we was texting that day. He invited me over to dinner for dinner. He could cook pretty good and all that stuff. And then we ended up going out to Vibes after. And we hit it off like really good. And of course, the next day and the next day, it's just like you practically ghosted me, bro. Like, you real life, just everything was good. We had a great night. We had fun. Like, we had so much fun. And I didn't hear nothing from him. So I sent him a text message like, you can't we can't go out and just have like an amazing time together. And I hear nothing from you like for days. It's crazy. Of course, I got a lot of stuff going on, blah, blah, blah. You knew you had a lot of stuff going on 2, 3 days ago. Like, certain stuff just don't pop up like out of nowhere. Sometimes it has been stuff that has happening that maybe led up to it. I mean, anything can happen, and some stuff is just completely unpredictable. But what's happened in your life that's just so you know life changing that you just can't even reach out or text a person or call a person. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I was just like, I really like you and fuck with you or whatever. I really enjoyed our time and stuff. So just you know hit me up when you're ready to spin a block again. We can go out, hang out, go from there, whatever. So months late, like, we had hung out a couple of times in between there, then and there, and we always had a fantastic time. Like, we just had so much fun together. But then of course it's just like routine. So, but anyway, long story short, he asked me to be his person. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he was just like, I'm not saying like, you got to move in, but you can just bring like a couple of things and items over here. And, we just go from there. We just build from there and all that stuff, just talking. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I'm, back and forth there for, like for a week or whatever. And then like the next week, he just spring up that he wants to be in a polyamorous relationship. I'm like, bruh, you could have led with that a week ago. Like, and I was like, I ain't even been here good for a whole week. It's just coming and going or whatever. I gotta go to work. He gotta go to work. Like, whatever. I don't even know what it was. It was just a test, I guess. I don't know. But at any rate, I was just like, you can't you can't you basically bamboozled me. Like, you can't just do that to a person. You have to, if that's what you wanted from the beginning, that's what you just should have said. That's what you should have put out. And I was just like, well, what is it that you actually feel like that you want? Like, and he telling me like, I didn't know, what was going on. But you had told me that when I asked you if you had been with like a girl before, you was just like, yeah, and all that stuff. I was like, but I told you that before. And you asked me again, and I didn't understand why. But that registered in your mind to be like, oh yeah, let's, and I'm just like, yeah, you had your own motives and everything. So I was like, what you want doesn't align with what I need. So, we just gonna have to pretty much go our own way, like go our own separate ways. And that was that. And I guess I don't know what I mean, I guess that still was just dating, still won't like no relationship. Or maybe the guy who I guess I was now we were, I guess, exclusively dating at some point. I guess I don't know. No, we were just vibing and chilling, like he said. That's what he told me, that we were just vibing and chilling. So I can't even count that. But and that was literally maybe from when we start exclusively vibing and chilling. I guess I would say May. And we was exclusively vibing and chilling from May up until like December. And Yeah, and I asked him like we had been knowing each other for years and we had been spending like quite some time together. Now this is somebody else from the other guy. But this is just dating. This is just how dating has been, y'all. Like it's just like ugh. Anyway, so I asked him like twice, like, what are we doing? Like, and he just like, the first time he was like, we vibing and chilling. So I just like, later on just asked him again, like, what are we doing? And his answer did not change. So I was just like, vibing and chilling is cool, but we've been knowing each other for years. I've exclusively been seeing you, from this time or whatever, and you still can't, you know, tell me what it is. So cool, like I still appreciate your friendship and we can be friends or whatever. But that was literally like after I had said that, you know, I ain't heard nothing else from him. So now we're here. Now I'm just basically at the end of the day, I just want to align myself with everything that it is that God has intended for me and have provided for me, and has prepared the place for me. I just want to be aligned with those things, and that's just literally just aligning our thoughts, literally aligning our thoughts with the very things that we want. And my really, really good friend, Jimmy, I love Jimmy. Jimmy has been like a repeated guest on This Is For My Ladies. She sent me Abraham Hicks. I can't remember like the actual title for it, but it's Abraham Hicks. And I have a book by Esther Hicks. Basically, if you heard about Abraham Hicks, it is pretty much a husband and wife. They went to like this medium, this psychic lady. Just, the husband was looking for answers, but then the wife had questions and she had came back. And basically, I guess what you would just say, like her guardian angel or whomever, just came after, just in deep meditation and just literally started speaking through her. And they're pretty popular. If the book is called Ask and It Is Given, and it just basically talks about how you are able to connect and align your thoughts and what your life's purpose is to manifest that and able to create that in reality and stuff. So I mean, I've been having a book for a while. I have read it, and again, that's I want to get back in pursuit of happiness. Y'all know season 7 is a pursuit of happiness. I'm in pursuit of myself. I'm in pursuit of Letitia. Y'all know that is, you know, getting back to the very things that I love. And reading is something that I truly, genuinely love doing. I love reading books, but I do think that maybe I need to get into maybe like the Audible books. But it was so crazy because I would get into the Audible books, but I still need that paperback. I still like to flip the pages. I like to have it. I like to just sit up, have it in my hands. I like that physicalness of it, the physical copy. But just even aligning with the things that I once loved or do love and just getting back to it, y'all. So yeah, I know I started therapy today. And when I was talking to my therapist, I was just literally, you know, I, I got excessive talking in school growing up. So I I like to talk, I got excessive all throughout school. And when I tell you I went in there and I just let off, like I'm not even joking. I just pretty much just let off anything that was on my mind at that time. I just pretty much share everything. I just, anything that I could think of, and I'm telling her like, and I'm gonna circle back on that for maybe like the next session. But I just need to move on. I just need to move on because I got so much stuff, you know, like a overload, and it was just kind of like a brain dump, like a brainstorm, and just getting everything out. just putting everything out and just, talk. But a lot of these things that I did talk about has been stuff that I talked about, like, with other people or with my friends, and, different stuff, even stuff that I've shared here on This Is For My Ladies. Some stuff, that I even, because I'm a very transparent person, and you all can pretty much kind of like see that within the 106 episodes. Y'all know that, I share, a lot about, like my life and personal things that I have been through. And actually, I had recorded, like, like another podcast before this one, and I was, speaking to, my therapist about it, and she was just like, just helping me, just even with anxiety. She was just like, if you feel, why you feel like you just gotta get it out. She was just like, sometimes if you feel like you just gotta do something, she was just like, sometimes just sit with that, sit, just sit with it and sit with the thoughts. But then, and I got that, and I processed that, and I understood that. But then it's only certain things that I want to kind of, I guess, battle with and go with, because some certain things do have to be put out. Certain things need to be put out. But she also just said trust and just verify. And that really stuck with me, like, the just, trust and verify, like, trust that this is the right thing, but also verify that it is the correct thing to do. And I really, really like that. So if that just wasn't, something, that takeaway, even with everything that was said and discussed, um that's the one thing that I was able to kind of take away from that. And I, after, my session, my homegirl Jimmy, she had hit me up because she has a studio, you all, free range studio, and it is a creative space. Like, it is a safe space. It is like one of the most welcoming and warm places, that I have been to, that I truly enjoy going into. It's just, Jimmy is just a dope person, and I just love her so much. And I sent her a voice message, and I was just affirming her, because I love her and I just adore her so much. And I had tweeted how I just want to start just romanticizing the woman more in my life by sending them, you know, cards or flowers and nice text messages, or a cash app to go buy like a bottle of wine, and, just really showing them, but just love, that affection, that appreciation. Like, I just want to just romanticize more of the woman just in my life, and just letting them know that I really love you and I adore you and I care for you. Um because sometimes we just even need to hear that. And I just feel like we as women need to romanticize more of the women that's in our lives. And just to just, because people need it. People really truly need it. Everybody is experiencing some type of trauma that they're trying to, overcome, or experiencing some sort of awareness about themselves. And that's a lot what, Jimmy and I had talked about yesterday. Is just more self-awareness, and, where that comes from and where that stems from. And again, just aligning ourselves with the very things that we need in our life. If it's more prayer, if it's more meditation, if it's just spending more time, with self, and eliminating bad habits, recognizing the habits. We know what habits we have. We know exactly what, the habits that we have formed to help us to, I guess, the habits that we have formed to help us cope with certain things in our lives, and to help us get through our days and get through the work day, and, to even just deal with people, even just that anxiety that just builds up just around certain things. And, whatever it is that the tools or whatever it is that we use to help us deal with it. But there's always like a solution and stuff to and that we can utilize to get through it versus just dealing with it, because it's just like once you deal with it, it's kind of like still there, and versus just getting through it and finding like a solution, or that healthy practice to help aid and just literally going to the next level, going to the next dimension, within our lives, within ourselves. And that's just extremely important. That's why it's important that we align ourselves with the things that's going to empower us, the things that's going to make us greater. That's just so important. And it's important to align ourselves with people, you know, as far as what we want. And even in relationships, like how they say to be, unequally yoked. And I know that's just like I guess, well, no, that's it is, I guess that's the first time I ever heard it was in religion, unequally yoked, as far as, a, a Christian need to be with a Christian, or a Muslim being with a Muslim, or a saint being with the unsanctified, or just being equally yoked. And I guess being equally yoked is literally being aligned with the person that literally that's understanding of you, and what your needs are, or what your desires are, or even whatever it is, when somebody is for you because you share similar interests, or even if you really don't share similar interests, you're able to just learn and understand a person, because everybody don't have to like what you like. You don't have to like everything that somebody likes. And we have these, what the things that make us up, our characteristics and our personalities and stuff. Some people have, very bright, vivacious, loud personalities. Some people are chill and laid back. And people sometimes wonder how the that egregious, out loud person is able to, you know, mesh well or match with somebody that's, don't say much and is quiet and laid back. But they balance each other. That they balance each other. So again, that makes them equally yoked, because they have found a balance. And it's aligning is literally finding that balance. That's just like if you get an alignment on your car, they have to balance it, they have to level it out. So that's what I'm, looking to create in the pursuit of happiness, in the pursuit of Letitia, in the pursuit of me and myself, is just aligning myself with all things in my life, aligning my thoughts. And that's what it starts with, when anything that's created, it is first created in the mind. We have to give life to it. That's why it is important to write things out, to write things down, because literally, and I've said this once and I'll say this before, words, letters, when you combine them, you're spelling out a word, you're casting a spell. Once you write out those things that you want to create, the things that you want God to do, you're able to manifest and pray on those things and see those things. And, once you see it, you're able to just visualize it. And when you're able to just visualize it, you're able to just go after it. And when you go after it, you're presenting yourself to those things. You're aligning yourself with those things so you can usher and open up those doors that you need for those things to just come in. Everything that we want is already connected to us. We just have to align ourselves to get it, good or bad. I mean, like something is this is our life. We was already, created and predestined, and we was already supposed to be here. We all have a purpose, we all have a will, and some of us are still figuring out our purposes and what it is that we want to do. And And some of y'all are so great at a lot of things. You're great at everything. And you probably had your hand in a lot of things. And, you may have put it down because you wanted to do something else. But all those things are still aligned to you, it's still connected to you. And it's okay, to spin a block on those things that you've done. And I know I talked about that in therapy, how I've done so many great things. And, like one of my best friends, Jaleesa, said, when did I give other people permission to make decisions on my behalf? At some point, I felt like we all done that. At some point. But then, some people just have a little bit more willpower to recognize it and be like, this is holding me back. If I listen to your way of thinking, it's going to hold me back. But sometimes that voice and that the person or the people who are telling you, it's just sometimes those your egos talking to you, not wanting you to fail. It's just that voice that's within you. It's just like literally we have that ego sometimes. And these are our own thoughts and voices. But we just have to decipher the ones that we connect to and that we align with. Are you aligning with the things that don't bring you nothing? Like you're connecting to those things and you're aligning yourselves, or are you gonna straighten your path and align yourself with the things that's over here on this side of all the things that you ever wanted? So alignment can literally be things, it can be objects, it can be people, it can be religion, it could be spirituality, it could be anything. It's imminent. It could be anything. It could come from anywhere. So it's really truly important. And hopefully I'm gonna see if I can link that hopefully I can. But we can look up, you could YouTube alignment or Abraham Hicks. You can, it's in anything. The stars are aligned, and like whatever. But anyway, y'all, so that's the things that I want to practice in pursuit of me, in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of Letitia, in pursuit of yourselves, to just align yourselves with the things that that's going to take you to the next level. Like align yourselves with people. If you feel that you aren't aligned with the right person, like get away from it. Like just in 2022, and it's the new year, new you, new month, Y'all know I be saying that I don't start my new year. It's my birthday, but hey, I'm in a half of the quarter. I'm in the third quarter. What, 6 months until my birthday? But yeah, whatever quarter. But I'm about to go into my new year in July. And again, I just want to plan things, for 33, I guess Jesus year. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. I do feel like this was one of those rest and retreat years. This past Sunday I literally celebrated, um it won't even a really celebration for real, but I acknowledged that it was a year that I've been back from California. So I acknowledged that. Um and right before I had left, I was on Clubhouse, and I went into one of those rooms. It was like one of those prayer and prophetic rooms. And I told this, shared with a group. I got on stage, again, excessive talking. Y'all know I ain't afraid to talk or say what I need to say. But she gave me like a prophetic word, and one of it was to rest and retreat. And rest and then retreat, rest, but and I felt like I needed that. In 32 years of my life, I have done so much, I have accomplished so much. And I think that now that I have reached that year mark of just literally just resting and retreat, just coming back to Virginia, it is time to come out of that. It's time to get busy. It's time to align myself. It's time to move and it's time to shake. And that's where I'm at. Trusting and verifying and rest and, and ready to come out of the retreat. So it's time. And that's why, I'm bringing back This Is For My Ladies, because it's definitely time. It's definitely ready to get busy, ready to get moving, ready to make things shake. Okay. So I hope that you are ready to make things move and make things shake in your life, and that you're ready to align things and just ready to just really allow things to just come to us and just connect and attract. So that's all I have for you all this week. I will be back next week with another episode of This Is For My Ladies, you all. I am Tisha the Diva, and I am out.